What is good, my peeps? Rock is back at you again with another action figure review, continuing our reviews for the Hasbro Marvel Legends Avengers Puff Adder wave. And we've been doing very well so far. The figures have been solid up till this point, and let's see if that train continues. We've got in front of us the orb. And yep, if you guys don't know anything about the orb and it's tripping you out, that's understandable. The orb is originally a Ghost Rider baddie, and he started out as just a stunt rider that was horribly disfigured, and I believe he passed away. And got a new orb, and he actually is like born this way. And yeah, it's just crazy. But an obscure figure, an obscure character, and it's always good getting those. It's always good getting new characters in Marvel Legends. We get characters we know and love recycled almost ad nauseum. So when we get something new, whether it's obscure, A or D-lister, it's something great. It's to be celebrated because we've got a new character in our collection. Anyway, you see the packaging there with the digital render of the orb on the cover there. We turn off to the side. We've got a render of Puff Adder, and below are the figures required to build him. We're at number 5, the orb. You see there are 6 figures that it takes to build. There are 7 figures in the wave, including Extremis Iron Man, which is not required to build Puff Adder. That's why you don't see his name there. We've got the logo on the top there. And then we've got some artwork of the orb. You see he's bussing a motorcycle there, so that lets you see that. Then, of course, on the back, we have another digital render, as well as sketch of the right hand and right arm that you need to build Puff Adder. And then, of course, you see the lone accessory that comes with the orb, a blaster of some kind. And that's what we got going on there. Turn back to the front, get a look at that packaging one last time, and now let's get into it. Here we have those aforementioned body parts for Puff Adder. We've got the right arm and additional open or grasping right hand. We're going to set this aside, and when we amass all of the parts, we will put Puff Adder together. And here's that blaster that we saw the render of. It's pretty strange looking. Even the muzzle is it has an orb shaped like it's an eye. We do get a porthole in the front, so we can attach a blast effect if we so choose. You see it's molded in a silver. It's got some detail, but no other paint to try to distinguish that detail. So there we have that. And now we've got the orb on our rotating base, so you can get a good look at him. Made up of reds and blues, and that's about it. Pretty simple design, but that's how he basically appeared. The orb was created, I believe, obviously it was in the 70s. I was just trying to get a more accurate year. So I'm figuring he was probably created in 72, maybe 73. So he's been around for a minute. Hasn't had too many appearances. His most significant appearance was in Original Sin storyline from a few years ago, in which the Watcher was assassinated and lost his eyes. He lost one to the orb, and it gave the orb some crazy powers there. But that ended up getting resolved, and but yeah, that was a pretty decent storyline, Original Sin. So that was the last time I think the orb's been seen. He may have had an appearance, a minor appearance or two since then, but I can't recall right now. Anyway, let's get him off the base and take a closer look. See what I did there at the orb? So now we've got the orb up close, and as you can see, I did it again. I guess that's just going to happen with this guy. His head is one big eyeball. And that's the whole thing. It's one big eyeball. Another, basically a silly character that ended up gaining some notoriety because of that aforementioned original Sin storyline. But you could see it's just a head. The head is just an eye, and you've got the iris, the pupil, and you see the streaks there to make it look more like an eye. And it's funny, but yeah, it is what it is. The body is molded in red, and you see we've got the paint apps for the shoulder straps that are coming down, and we've got the stars there painted nice and white. The belt is molded in an off-white, and it's got blue paint for the belt, and the buckle is painted white. Mine's is kind of sloppy, it looks from there. Gloves, white, and you see the trim, blue trim on the gloves there. And looking at the back, good old Hasbro. You see the paint for the harness goes down there, but you get no stars. You do get paint on the back of the belt though, so that's a plus. And paint all around on those gloves. Then of course you've got the white boots, the pirate boots, a la Taskmaster. And speaking of, it's on the same buck as Taskmaster, meaning Bucky Cap. We still have not done away with the Bucky Cap body mold. It is what it is. So you see that? So yeah, that's the orb. Anyhow, seeing how the articulation is, he's on a ball hinge. Unfortunately, the nature of the head / eyeball, that hinge is quite noticeable. It's quite noticeable. It is what it is. He can't move his head back because of the round nature of his head / eye. He can move it down, so you can get some nice movement going down. And if you didn't think that it could go 360, I don't know why you wouldn't. There it is. You know it can. He can lift the shoulders up to about 90 degrees and rotate them 360. The bicep swivels rotation. I'm going through this. It's the Bucky Cap mold, you all know, but may as well do it. Double jointed pinned elbows. You're only going to get that much articulation because those gloves are going to impede. He's got the rotating wrist hinge and the horizontal, the swivel and the horizontal hinge on both sides there. So you got that. As far as his crunching is concerned, he can go forward that far. Looks kind of crazy in the back, but he can go far, and he can go back. They actually did continue the paint through, but you still have the gap, so and it's still going to look ugly. You've got the waist rotation there. You could 360 that if you so chose. He can do the splits pretty decent, especially for Bucky Cap. A few years, Bucky Cap, I guess the mold was getting overused, and the hip articulation was getting worse and worse, but that seemed to be pretty good. He can move his leg up that far, 90 degrees from the hips and back a fair decent amount there. He's got the thigh cut, double jointed pinned knees. He's got that going on. You know he's got the boot cuff at the top of those pirate boots. He can point his toe forward that far, up that far. He's got the ankle pivot on the small Bucky Cap feet, and he's got holes, peg holes at the bottom of those feet. So look at this, two figures back to back. I'm actually taking measurement. So we've got for the orb, he's going to be coming in at about 6.5 inches tall. Here's a shot of the orb wielding his weapon. He comes with no other accessories, as you all know, so no other hands. His left hand is a C cup gripping hand, and of course the right hand is a trigger finger hand. If you wanted to make him left-handed, you can fudge it a little bit with that C grip hand, but it's not meant to wield weapons. There is no trigger finger. Here's the orb with Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. This is the recent retro carded Ghost Rider that we got sometime like in the middle of last year, meaning 2022. And yeah, quite a sight when you look at both of their heads. And even though we don't have an official comic book version of the Watcher, we do have this what if version, and it can pass. You may as well fudge it if you so chose. I do have the Marvel Select Watcher from many years ago that was re-released a couple years ago. For anybody that missed out all those years ago, I've got mine, but he's in my cosmic display, and I didn't feel like taking him out of there. There's a lot of figures in that display that I have to get in and around to get to him. So this is what you get. And finally, here's a shot with our orb along with the other figures in this wave that I've already reviewed. We have on our far left Wonder Man. Next, we've got Baron von Strucker. Behind the orb, we've got Extremis Iron Man. And then far right, Molecule Man. And in between Molecule Man and the orb, we have Yelena Belova. Very nice assortment we've got going on here. So to sum it all up, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Avengers wave, the Puff Adder Build-A-Figure wave, orb is a once again, it's an obscure character and a new character to add to our Marvel Legends collection, so I can't knock that. It is kind of silly. I've read stories with Orb before. Never thought about the silliness until I've been presented with a three-dimensional rendition of the Orb right here in front of me, and it let me know exactly how silly the character is. But it is what it is. We got a new character. I'm happy about that. I'm not happy that we've got it on the Bucky Cap body mold. We're still haunted by this mold, and it looks like we're going to be haunted for some time to come. We can only hope that the amount decreases over time until it's completely phased out, and I believe it's my at least fervent hope and wish that that's what Hasbro's going to do. It only comes with one accessory, that blaster, and nothing else. So really bare bones in the accessories department, more bare than typical. Usually we get a set of hands, but I guess the blaster took the place of that. Anyway, it is what it is. We got a new character. That's number 6. We got one more to go before we get to build Puff Adder, and quite possibly the best has been saved for last. So stick with me on that score. Speaking of all of that, time for some housekeeping. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. It helps the algorithm, and it definitely helps move the channel forward. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to harp too much on that. It is what it is, or what it will be. Leave your comments below. Questions, concerns, critiques. Definitely do that. And if you want to be notified for when I upload another video, hit that notification button. And the bell, I should say. And, well, notified you shall be. On behalf of the Orb, who said that even when you're not looking, he sees you, I believe him. I am the Ruckus, leaving you with this. Remember, the hunt continues, and I am out. Peace.